Let's make one of these 9 grid pages today with our fuse, and we're going to be using 1-inch square pieces of scrap paper from my Easter pad. I shared this project in one of my previous videos and I'll put a link to that below. I have this little 9-grid page here that I did for Halloween and for fall. My original intent was to do it for all the seasons, and because I love using pretty paper, you can use double-sided paper or single and then double it up. That's what I did here with the fall one, and then add little cute sequins and bits and bobs inside some of the pieces because I love to have the clear spots as well. And then I also include a strip down the side that makes it easy to put our little ring on the end. For this Easter project, I'm using Echo Park's Bunnies and Baskets paper. I've used it in some other projects, so I've got some scraps that'll be great to use. And I've kind of laid out the pieces already. Like I said, we'll need 1-inch square pieces, and this is double-sided paper. And so I've kind of lined it up exactly how I would like for it to do. For the little bits in the middle, it's just little shaker pieces. And then I have a scrap sheet of scrapbook paper page protectors that I like to use. I picked up a new fuse crafting supplies. I picked up one of the fuse mats recently, and I think you're going to see how I've utilized it. I really needed these grid lines on my silicone mat, and so that's why I got this. And so we're going to use it today for the first time on a project. So I'm going to try to use those grid marks and line up this, especially since we're doing this square piece or using the square piece. Ultimately, the piece comes to around 3 3/4 by 3.5. I think our final piece is going to be just a little bit longer, and it kind of all depends on your fuse lines and how much space you put between your paper and the fuse line. So that could vary, and you're going to see from project to project that I do. So I'm kind of just lining it up and trying to see what I can do. Even though those grid marks, the squares are 1 by 1, again, the fuse line is going to adjust that. We're not really going to be able to use it straight up. But I'm going to start with the little strip on the side that is, now mine that I cut is 3 inches by 3/8 inches, and I really wish I'd gone 3 1/4. You're going to see why in a moment. So I'm just going to first line that up just because I'm kind of going to work left to right, and let's put a left side fuse on that. Now I don't know what happened. I did this twice and I shifted right about halfway through my fuse. It was me. I don't know what I did, but the great news is this is that first line. And also, as you can see, I wanted to mention one reason I was using this page is because I already have the bottom line done. So if you start with a regular sheet of paper and you have to make all the marks, all the fuse lines, you would just make that bottom grid line as well, or that bottom fuse line. So what I was back to saying about my mistake, I just shifted it over. I tried again, did the same thing. I cut those mistakes off, and now we're going to try a third time. So I'm lining it up. I'm using that bottom grid line, and here we go. I'm really thinking I'm going to stay close to the edge of the ruler. I still kind of wanted to shift a little, but I think it was much better. So we're going to go with that fuse line to start us off. And I am going to go ahead. I like to fuse the front and then just a light fuse on the back side. I think that helps, especially when I'm doing shakers. And so I'm going to do it right here. This will be the first time until the end of the project that I'll be able to flip it because our papers are not all set immediately. We're going to be working almost line by line, square by square, and you're going to see that here in just a moment. So as I make each line, I'm pushing the paper as far to each of the fused lines as I can. I want it to go far to the left and to that bottom line. Line that up, and then we'll be ready to do the right side fuse. Now, what I'm struggling with here is being right-handed. I like to have my ruler on the left-hand side and then run the fuse line along that, but I also like to be able to see the paper. And so I'm going to kind of do it almost backwards for myself, and it's kind of dangerous at times because I may not have a great grip on the ruler, but it worked out okay right there. So I am going to be able to flip it here, and we'll just make sure that fuse is nice. So we'll just continue and do that back fuse, and now we're ready to flip it over, and now let's get to work on those squares. So the design that I was going to use is along the diagonal from the bottom left up to the upper right hand, we're going to place the little sequin bits, little bunny, and little Easter egg. But first I need to get those sequin bits in there. And as I was doing that, I started to think, well, here's the first thing. It's much easier to just do the squares because you can line those up and fuse around those. When you have the spots with the little sequins or any other pieces, because of the clear, you have to work on the alignment, where the 1-inch square should be. So I'm going to put the 1-inch squares that surround that open, I'm going to call it an open spot, but it's got those little sequin bits in it. And then we can see how far up we need to go and how far over to the side. So you can tell I need to pull that yellow piece up just a little bit. And as I'm working this, it's kind of, we're playing around with the movement of the pieces. And that's why you don't have an exact measurement for where it should be. I may put my pieces a little closer than you might, and that's okay. So I'm going to just kind of put it where I think it's going to be, and I'm playing with moving things a little bit closer and everything. Also, I have the basic wheel that comes with the fuse. If you were to use the thicker fuse tip, then you might need to look at, of course, making a wider spot between your pages. So I'm still just playing around with it and seeing what lines I want to draw next. And this might just be where you see the paper lining up good. And so I'm still playing with it, and then I realize here when I put that third piece on the top that my strip needed to be a little bit longer. I only cut it at 3 inches tall, but I think you should go 3.5 or 3 1/4. And so that's what dimension I'm going to suggest, but we can fix that a little bit. We're going to fix using a tool here at the end. But again, it's playing around, moving things over a little bit to this side, a little bit to that side. And you'll find where exactly you want to go and when you're ready to use the fuse. So you're going to see I'm moving these around. It's going to move a lot quicker here once we get some of these lines drawn and get a feel for how we want everything. So I'm using the bottom line that was already fused together on that scrapbook page. I'm trying to line that up with the grid on my fuse mat, and that's really helpful. I've decided here now I'm going to draw this, draw the vertical line there. And as I'm doing that, I'm finally just going to decide, let's move these out of the way. And let's draw the vertical line now that we've got some placement there. And we know where it should be lined up. So I always like to kind of roll my fuse on the mat itself before I begin using it. It just helps me know that it's rolling well and ready for me to go. And there we go. We've got that vertical line, but notice we don't have the horizontal line so separating any of those pieces in there. So I'm also trying, even though I do the fuse line really close to the paper, I don't get right up on the paper. I like to give it just a little bit of room, and you'll see why here at the end. But I like to hold it with my fingers and keep them in the spots where I'm putting it. So as I'm lining up now this bottom row again, giving a little bit of space in between them, I'm ready now to do this fuse along the bottom, this horizontal line. So we're going to touch here, and then I thought, uh-oh, I did it wrong, but then I thought, no, I don't want to run across that strip. So I'm just going to run it straight across and make sure you give yourself plenty of room past that far right column that we're going to have. So now for the middle section, I'm putting some little bunny shaker bits, and now I get out my little tweezers. The tweezers are what you need. So I hope you have a pair of tweezers that you can use. It's really nice to get into these tiny spots and move these little papers around and everything. So the middle section will have the bunnies, and then we're going to line this paper up here, making sure everything is still looking good. We're kind of just checking it out, placing the papers. And you'll get the feel. There's really no particular order in which you need to do this. And I think it would go even faster if you're doing 9 grids of paper. So I'm still moving and shifting the papers around. We've just got a few more lines that we need to fuse in place, but I want to just get everything lined up how we'd like to have it. So I'm going to do this vertical line here, and I think, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take those out. At least take out that one, because we already have the horizontal line that is keeping that bottom piece in place. But we've seen where we need to put it, and now we're just going to fuse that vertical line there. Nice and easy, and I really like using my ruler with this. We can also use the tweezers to, like there, push that all the way close to those fused lines and get everything in their spot. My fingers make things move a little bit more than I'd like them to, so that's why I like using these tweezers. Now for the upper right corner, I'm adding in these little plastic Easter eggs, little shaker bits that I have gotten over the years, and we're going to put that in there. And now I'm going to make a little bit of adjustments to these papers. They were kind of losing their spacing, and so we can use the tweezers to just gently pull the papers. And that's why when I make my fuses, I try to get not right on the paper themselves as I'm fusing. Give just a little bit of space. So now we can do this horizontal line that's right below this first row right here. And we are almost finished. The last little bit that I want to look at now, I think, after I've got all these pieces in place, move that egg over just a bit, and we can go ahead and do the vertical line, that last vertical line. Again, I go back and forth. Do I cover it up and go, or use that right side? I'm going to use my grid lines again to line everything up and just make sure that I'm making these straight edges. I should be, because we have the square pieces that we're using. And then I'm going to line that ruler up, help me. And as I'm running this fuse down, there was something, and it may have been that slight movement that I made, but I didn't feel like I had gotten a perfect fuse on it. And so even though it looked fine, it felt fine, I decided to go over it lightly again. So that's what I'm doing right here. But these grid marks are coming to life here now. We only have one more grid, or one more line to do across the top, but I do want to fix the strip on the left-hand side. As you can see, it's a little bit shorter than all the other pieces. So I'm going to take my tweezers in here and just do a gentle pull, and it pulls it out a little bit more here than I'd like it to. So I have enough room, wiggle room there, that I can move it, and I'm going to kind of place it in the middle of the two. Again, when you do yours, you're going to do it a better size that will fit. And now I'm just going to line up using that top grid line, and we'll place our ruler there, and this is going to be the last fuse line that we have to do to form our little page. And that's it. So we've done the fuse all across the front. I'm going to go through here now and just redo slight fuses on the back, those little fuse marks from the wheel. It just seems to make it easier for the fuse to just flow over that. I'm not pressing hard at all, really. I'm just trying to lightly go back over and make sure that those seals are made. And just along the ones that I have made myself. I don't have to do the very bottom one, because that was part of that scrapbook page. And I turn it because I think I'd mentioned in another video, I think I work best when I'm moving down vertically versus horizontally. I did do some horizontally on here, but I just want to be really careful and do my best going down vertically. Now we just have to trim that out. In the way I like to do these is I trim pretty close to that fuse line. Of course, we don't want to trim on the fuse line because we will break the seal, but I do it pretty close and just trim those off. And it would have been good if I could have used that the circle there from the page protector, but there was no way to get it in between there. There was a lot of space. So there is the Easter mini page that we've put together with the fuse, these 9 grids, double-sided paper. Take a look at the dimension though. It ran about 4 inches by 3.5, so it's about 1/4 of an inch longer than the other things that I'd done, but you can't really tell. There's no big difference. I don't know, maybe I had more spacing between my papers. I'm not sure. I'm going to take a regular hole punch, and along that little 3/4 inch strip there, I'm going to just punch a hole, and that's the way I like to put these together. You can make these as cards. You can put these in pockets. There's so many cute little things. I just like to make these and showcase pretty paper, and I think it's just fun to have something and another fun way to use our fuse tool. For my original plan was to make these for all the different seasons because I love seasonal paper and I love showcasing the pretty papers and stuff, and this is a great way to use our scraps. So I'm planning to keep this up. Here I've got Easter, Halloween, and the fall, and I'll just keep going for the next season. I hope you've enjoyed this.